Okay, hi there traders. Welcome to Trade the Structure. Now I'm just going to go through 8 shares that I really like actually. I find that they've got a high potential according to what I'm looking for. High potential for a good momentum move. So that's what we're only ever looking for. And we're just trying to trade with the bias, meaning the bias is up, we expect it to go up, then we want to be trading on the long side, and vice versa. If the bias is down, we expect it to go down. We want to trade on the short side. So I've updated the list on the website for the members area. So for anyone that's a member, jump in there, take a look. We've taken some off. I know it's been a while since I actually last updated it, but it's been a bit of a choppy market. I haven't seen any real need to start throwing out share ideas. But for now, look, it could be with the ASX. It could be, it's sort of a two-way, at a fork in a road, I guess you could say. It can go either way at the moment. It seems to be trying to get buoyed, trying to find some buyers, but at the same time, it can easily flick over and start to roll over. So we're just going to put together a few shares, which I thought, yeah, like I said, got some high conviction for a continued momentum move. So the first one we'll look at is Australian Financial Group. Or actually, just before I continue on there, remember that, yeah, just check out the website, see what's come off. Like I said, I haven't updated it for a while. See what's come off the list. There's some that are just falling off, some that are still looking pretty good. So I've kept those ones on, and I've added these 8. All right. So like I said, first one, Australian Financial Group, AFG. All right, this is more of a short than anything else. I feel that it's really struggling. You've got the price is actually pushed up to this high at 305. It's fell over when that was during the pandemic, March 2020, Feb 2020. It's made us all its way all the way back up again to that same level, retested it and failed. So it sort of flushed through, took out the high, and then failed off that level, sort of went sideways, consolidated a bit, had another go at it, and failed at a lower level. So you can see that sellers are starting to come in here. And what the key is, we've got a lower high at 272. And we just got that started to lead to an expansion on the downside. And then what we've got another lower high just confirmed at 244. So for me, that could lead to a move down to 158 quite easily if things start to unwind. Now, if the ASX itself starts to unwind, this is one that I reckon is going to get hit. Okay, because it is on the downside, you've got a major failure up at that 305 area, and you've got lower highs holding. Now, all these buyers that bought in here, and they've seen it come down, they've seen it go back up, they're all happy again. And as they see it start to roll over, they may start to close out, okay, and just start to take some risk off the table in that position in particular. So really, I'll be looking for a move through 213 with risk just above there and see what happens if we can get down to 158. If it starts to push through, great. If it doesn't, we might just cut it. All right, so that's that one there. Next one is ALK. All right, Alkane Resources. Now, this one's just starting to break out, I feel. We've had a nice little consolidation between, 77 cents and $1. All right, so you can see that the price has been made a high, pulled all the way back, made a lower high, made a higher low. So you can just see it's coming to that point of agreement with lower highs and higher lows. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, longer term, the trend has been up. It's got a bit rocky up here. We got a bit of a sell-off, good sell-off. That's cleaned out a lot of these buys. And then it's starting to reset again. You can start to see this is starting to shape up for another rally, in my eyes anyway. And I feel that it's just getting through that dollar mark. If we can start to get a bit of a pop, what that'll do, it'll drag in some early buys, but doesn't mean that the trend is it's gonna start to take off. What you want to do is see this higher low confirmed. If we start to get some higher low, that means that sellers are coming in, but buyers are soaking the price up at a higher level. They're not waiting for it to get lower because they don't want to buy it low. They want to be in there, whether they think it's going to get to that, 125, even a lot higher to 150. All right, so that's that one there. CEL, Challenger Exploration. Now, sort of along the same lines, but I think it's got a lot more work to do. Now you can see longer term it's holding higher lows. It's pushed up to this 39.5 cents or 40 cent level. It started to back off there. It's done that 1, 2, backed off down to this sort of 20 area. Then it keeps popping up, but it's getting sold into just at this moment. So I feel that we still have to put in a bit of work. Price needs to put in a bit of work. We can't just keep banging around between these two levels, holding another high, lower high, pushing back down, cleaning out some of these buys, pushing to another higher low. I think if it starts to chop around and hold up at 131 cents, say, with a higher low, then without getting down to this zone around 28, 29, or even, about 28, 29, if it doesn't get down here, but it starts to hold up here, people start soaking it up at a higher level, any of that selling pressure, I think we can get a nice little trade off and see if we can push up to 39. And I think potentially it starts to break out of that, through this high low, in particular at 37 cents, then I think that's going to go higher. Okay, next one is HMX. Excuse me. Now I actually have this one. I like this one. I've had it for quite a while, to be quite honest. Now you saw they had some good news out in this region. Okay, when the market was starting to chop around, and then it took off. Good volume. another spike to that 15 cents, and then it's since backed off and it's spent a lot of time cleaning out a lot of this liquidity. Okay, a lot of this buying liquidity that's pushed up, people chasing the market higher, you know that they're going to get squeezed out, and the market's done exactly that. It squeezed them all out, got back down to nearly where it started, and now we're starting to lift again. So we're on the rise again. For me, I would like to see it preferably do a bit of work around here, chopping around here, building a solid base, which I think can, if it does do that, I think it could launch a lot higher and start to attack those new highs at 15 cents and above. All right, so that one's looking pretty good to me. And you're just starting to get a bit of volume come in, not a lot, but I mean, if you scroll that out, you'll start to see this volume coming in. Yeah, it got sold into here, but it's getting soaked up. Okay, so we'll just keep an eye on that one there as well. Lake LKE, another one on the list out of the 8. That one there, I do like. I think it's got some more work to do. A bit like, was it CEL? Yeah, a bit like CEL. It's got a bit more work to do. You can see that lower highs are holding. Trend is up. It's just had this expansion leg higher, and now it's going to contract. So what it's doing there is just consolidating a bit, consolidating these gains. If it can consolidate, hold these higher lows, we'll be looking for something like this potentially. If it could start to pop up, build a higher low, and it starts to expand up, break out of that contraction, and have another leg up, I'll be looking for something like this. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Like SMR, Stanmore Resources. Now, it's not a crackingly good one, but what I'm looking for in this one there, look, I don't want to go and buy it right here because it could easily roll over like it did prior. Okay, you got this action up, started to find a bit of a top, started to get a bit choppy, the moves down got a bit more exaggerated. It was holding in that zone, then it fell over. Okay, and I think that was coming into start of 2020 when the pandemic really hit, but it was already on the way down by the time that hit. So we could be that could be the case. What it's done now is held a nice little base through here, 61 cents, and started to lift. Now this is really kind of the first key higher low, you could call it, at 96.5 cents. So I would really ideally like to see it pop up into new high, have a shallow pullback, and start to go again. If we can get something like, maybe like this, that's what I'd be looking for. Okay, and see if we can just continue on up. The trend is up, the bias is up, and it's in a prime position really on the MACD, which is I use for momentum. Starts to hold above that zero line, starts to tip up. It's a positive momentum, which would mean that people are going to start to buy it and press it higher. All right, next one, SYA, not SYR, Sayona Mining Limited. I have a problem saying that one, but you can see a nice little base put in 11 cents. Okay, it's powered up through 11, come back in, tested quite a few times and held. So it's standing its ground, standing its ground at 11 cents at the moment. We just need to see it broke out. It's got some lower highs, so the sellers are still active. Okay, the buyer's not willing to press it up just yet, and we want to get up and above the MAs. Okay, ideally you want to see this kind of thing push up above the MAs, get some higher lows start to form. All right, that's the ideal situation. So we're trying to get in early. We're trying to anticipate that. So if we can get it start to break out through this downtrend, this I guess your downtrending resistance line, you want to call it that, hold above the MAs with this kind of action with a high low, then yeah, it's a nice little buy. And I think momentum's starting to play out quite nicely. If it can start to tip up back into positive territory, all's looking good on that one. Last one, TIE. Okay, Tieto Minerals is probably a bit easier to say than SYA. But anyway, that's on the trend up. Now this is one we alerted to the group a while ago, put it into our Discord channel. So if you'd like to join that, just look at the website for details, or just send me an email to trade the structure at gmail.com, and I'll shoot you off that link there. But anyway, that's starting to rise, and you can see longer term it's had this run up. Good strong run up like that, you need to clean out some of these buys. You need to just flush them out. It starts to build a bit of a base through here. People add into positions potentially. Anyone that's been bought up here probably took some off the table, started to add again. And you can see once we got through that 39 cents, retest, held, pop up, pull back, retest at 45, held. So now if we're going to continue that trend, we're just starting to retest. We might have to do it a couple more times at 53.5 cents. Then I would expect that to power high and start to test into these highs at 74.5. Okay, now that's the 8 that I'm looking at. Like I said before, if you want to see the full list, if you want to be part of that, that's just on the members area. Now it's a free sign up. There's no strings attached. You can jump on the subscribe, jump on the website, subscribe, and then you'll be able to jump onto the members area. There's a whole bunch of material. Now I'm going to add to that. I've been a bit slack lately, admittedly, but I will be adding to that quite a bit. I want to start to put together a course as well. Whether that will be a live course or something where I can record some videos, it might actually be a live course. We can organise some times, but that you'll see more information on that within the website members area. But yeah, for now, check out that share list. see what's come off, see what's staying on there, and see these ones that are added as well. All right, guys, thank you very much for joining me, and we'll speak to you again soon.